evening, my rabid rodents, and welcome to another evening with Dante Nightly's Nightly Bedtime Stories, Thoughts, and Poems. Tonight's story is called The Cat That Stared at Nothing. For a man of such large and impressive stature, it was surprising how little it took to shake his nerves, although maybe not so surprising once you take into account what actually scared him. It wasn't so much the black cat itself, but what it did that made him so uneasy. It would just stare at nothing. At first he thought nothing of it, being that the cat was a stray. Maybe something was wrong with it. You see, the cat came to him one day and simply wouldn't leave. He opened the door and it darted in. He would chase it around, place it back outside, and shoo it away. But in the mornings he would wake to find the cat sitting on the foot of the bed, staring at the corner. At nothing. He tried everything he could to rid himself of the feline, but eventually gave up and decided that the cat was now his. He set out food, water, and a blanket to sleep on, but the cat ignored all of it. It would just stare at the corner. One terrible night, a hiss morphed into a guttural growl, followed by a sudden shriek. He popped out of his deep sleep to find nothing but the black cat, its back arching, teeth baring, all of its fur from its head to the tip of its tail standing on end, staring at nothing. The only thing that was amiss was a faint smell of sulfur. He was in and out of sleep all night with nightmares. The next morning he rushed out the door late for work. When he returned home, not a second after he placed the key in the lock did he hear the cat's war cry. He pushed the door open, but a swift and hollow thud slammed the door closed. He was taken aback. He lived alone. What was that? He collected himself, mustered up his courage, and put his ear to the door. He heard nothing. Ever so gently, he turned the doorknob, careful not to make a sound. He rocked back, and with all his might, he shouldered the door wide open. The cat was already in flight, leaving him no time to react. It bit and scratched and sunk its claws deep into his flesh. He grabbed anything with fur and pulled, each claw taking skin with it. He could only think to separate himself from the cat. He turned, and with all his might, he threw it out the door. One of its claws snagged his thumb, causing it to veer off course. It clipped the doorframe and snapped its neck. Its lifeless body tumbled down the hall and flopped to a stop. He slammed the door closed and locked it tight. He rushed to check his wounds. His eye was punctured, his nostrils was sliced, and a chunk of his lip was missing. He was in too much pain to notice the strong smell of sulfur in the air, nor did he notice the shadows leaking in from the corners of the room. The black cat twitched its way back to life. It sat up and stared at the door as the man screamed, all while the nothing consumed him. Well, you know, I myself have a very special place in my heart for black cats. Anyway, good night and sweet screams.